Hello and welcome back to Robotics for All Week 2 HTML CSS curriculum. In the last week's video, you were introduced to HTML CSS, what it is, its syntax, its general structure, and what a basic HTML page would look like. In today's lesson, we're going to dive into learning more tags that will help us organize and customize our web page. Before we begin, we're going to start off by opening our REPL. And finally, once you open an HTML CSS/JS REPL, we're going to want to delete some unnecessary tags that we won't learn about until later. The first thing are these meta tags. Next, we have the link. And finally, we have this script tag right here. Make sure that you delete all these tags before you get on with the video. One of the most basic tags in HTML is the heading tag. The heading tag allows you to add headings for such things as the title of your website. Here's how it looks. Make sure that your syntax for your tag is right. The syntax shown here will follow the syntax or format of every other tag you write in HTML. In addition, when you're going to write your heading tag, make sure that you use H1. Now, let's begin by writing some text inside. This is a heading. If you run the code, it'll print out this is a heading. Now, in addition to the H1 tag, there are also H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6 tags. Here's an example. Here are all six heading tags. You can see that the only difference is a number. If I go ahead and run it, you can see that the only difference between these tags are the size of the tags. So now begs the question, why do we have multiple heading tags? In addition to the heading tag for the title of your website, you can also have headings for other uses. For example, the title of an article in a news website, or maybe the title of an image or an ad. Because there are multiple types of headings that you can have in your websites and that may have different sizes, we need to have these heading tags so that we can differentiate between these headings. In addition to the heading tag, we have the paragraph tag. The paragraph tag, as you can guess, allows us to add a paragraph of text. If I go ahead and run it, you can see at the bottom here, this is a paragraph. And in addition, the paragraph looks different than the heading tag. The next tag that we're going to learn about is not a text tag. This is a special tag called the break tag. What it allows us to do is place breaks between text or other elements in our page. For example, your title may have a break. The title of an article, a news article, may have a break between the image of that title. So in this case, I'm going to put a break tag between my heading and my paragraph. Now if I go ahead and run it, you can see that a break forms. And in fact, when I highlight it, there's a space or an enter between this is a heading and this is a paragraph tag. If I wanted to add more breaks, all I'd have to do is add more tags, more break tags. And you can see that the space between this is a heading tag and this is a paragraph tag is greater. Now there's one thing to notice. When I wrote my break tag, instead of writing the beginning tag and the close tag, all I did was write the beginning tag. That's because in HTML, when we have a beginning tag and a close tag, that's because we want to actually put stuff between those two tags. For example, in our body tag, we have stuff between those tags. We have these elements right here. Same with the H1 and the paragraph. But in the break, there is nothing to put between the open and close tag. That's why in HTML, we don't need to have that end tag because there's no reason to use it. So for that reason, make sure that you do not include the closing tag because that is not a part of the break tag. Now on a regular website, you'll obviously notice that the only thing in that website isn't a heading tag or a paragraph tag. There are other elements of the web page, for example, a navigation bar, a header, a footer, and some other sections of the website. So how can we add those? In HTML, there are specific tags that allow us that act as a container so that we can put all the elements for that specific section in those tags. One example of such tag is the header tag. This tag acts as a container where we can put all the necessary code for a header inside of it. For example, one of the things that would probably go inside the header of our website is our heading tag. You can see that nothing really changed. The only thing that changed is our code. Another tag in HTML is called the nav tag. The nav tag acts as a container where we can put all of our code for that navigation bar on our regular website. Now in a navigation bar, you'd probably have other elements but that we haven't learned about yet. So we'll move on from there. Just to act as a placeholder, I will put this code right here. And there you go. Once again, nothing really changed, just the code. Moving on, there is the article tag. The article tag acts as a container if we ever have large blocks of code or large blocks of text in a website. For example, in a news website, one might want to put their entire article, the text for the entire article, inside of a article tag. Now the text would go in the paragraph tag, and in fact, we can place our paragraph tag inside of here. And if we even have more parts to our article, maybe we have like a header to our article, we can additionally place tags inside of here. Now you'll notice that we can in fact place tags inside of tags, and that's the structure of HTML. HTML is for building a structure of elements on a web page. So these outside tags act as containers, and we can nest these elements in these tags. So I'll go ahead and copy what I've written above. This is a heading tag. And once again, nothing really changed, just a code. Moving on, we have the section tag. The section tag is used to identify, or is used to break up a website into multiple sections. For example, going back to the news website, on the home page, at the very top, we might have a header. At the very end, and in our main content, we might have multiple sections for different types of news. For example, world news, countrywide news, national news, and etc. We might even have a section for ads. So we can use the section tag to break up our website into nice uniform sections. Now what's really cool is that we can even put the article tag, h1 tag, p tags, or whatever other tags we have inside of our section tag, because in HTML, our goal is to build a structure of nested tags. Moving on, there is the main tag. The main tag allows us to have a spot in our code for the main content of a website. For example, if there was a website about a certain animal, while there may be a header and a nav bar at the top, in the middle would be our main content. So maybe we want to put our main content in the main tag. So I can go ahead and say something like, now additionally, you could even put sections inside your main tag or articles inside your main tag. Considering that this is a informational website, we could even try to put article tags inside of our main tag to to show that we have multiple different types, multiple articles or about certain animals. So I'll go ahead and copy and paste this. And there you go. We've already started to build a structure to our in HTML. And there you go. We have multiple of the same things, but obviously we can edit it as we go. Now the last tag, in addition to the header tag, we also have the footer tag. The footer tag, as you can probably guess, is just that stuff at the bottom of our website. So in our footer tag, we could put our p tag, and finally maybe something like a copyright, and whatever other symbols or text you would want to put. Now, one thing you might have realized, and something that I've been alluding to, is the fact that even though I have all these different tags and they all have different names, you can see that nothing really changed between them. The header tag at the very top looks very similar to the nav tag, and the article tag, and so on. Now, why is that? That's because these tags, header, nav, article, section, main, and footer, are actually part of a specific style of HTML. These are part of semantic HTML. These are semantic tags. Now, what is semantic HTML? Instead of giving the stuff inside these semantic tags some new visual look, semantic tags give a meaning and purpose to the content of our website. For example, if we find HTML code that uses the nav tag, then we know that all the HTML code inside the nav tag is for the navigation bar. Once again, instead of giving the stuff inside the nav tag a styling, all semantic tags do and this nav tag is just define what the content should be, or what that content actually is and what it's for. So just to reiterate, if we ever use a header tag, then we know that the stuff inside the header tag is obviously for the header. This makes it really easy to look at our code and understand what's going on. That's why we have semantic HTML.